Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Sorry it's taken me so long to get back here. Today we're talking about our bullying bosses, and I'm going to give you some ideas of what to do to help maintain your self-esteem. In other words, not let him or her bring you down. So, sorry it took me so long to get to this one, uh, but after doing a lot of thinking about it, I did some research on it. So I'm going to try to go through some of this stuff really quick so the video won't be too awful long like the others have been. But when you're doing stuff, when you're talking about stuff like this, it can actually take a while. I mean, I can spend months on these particular videos for just this particular thing itself. So with that said, as I said, we're going to be talking about these bullying bosses and some things we can do to help kind of maintain our confidence and our self-esteem. Uh, so let me get to this. If you have a strong foundation of your confidence and compassion for yourself, especially compassion for yourself, that means liking yourself, going into loving yourself. Once you begin loving yourself, then a lot of things that you do, you succeed in because you know you have the confidence in you that you can do this. And others putting you down and constantly putting you down, whether it's bosses, family members, spouses, whatever. Now remember, that's from their insecurities. Okay? For some reason, they fear you. For some reason, you're a threat to them. Okay? At work, you can be a threat to a boss if you're very good at what you do and you demonstrate that a lot. You can be a threat to your boss, and in turn your boss will start bullying you. He'll start yelling and hollering. He or she will start yelling and hollering at you all the time. It seems like they single you out, put you down, talk stuff about you constantly, in front of others even. And so that's all about them, okay? That's all about them. It's not about you. One of the things that you can do, in this situation is you can be assertive. Be assertive, but don't be confrontational, okay? Such as if they're putting you down and all of a sudden they start attacking you personally, you or your family, anytime it becomes personal, then you can stand up and you can let them know that you're not going to put up with that. You're not going to stand for that. That you demand respect from them. In turn, you will give them respect. And if that's not going as well as it should, when you state that, when you hold up your hand and say, hold on a minute, okay, let's don't go there. I want respect from you. I demand respect from you. And if it doesn't go well from there, then just turn around and walk. Excuse me. That's one of your best options. That way it can avoid things getting really, really bad. So anyway, you can be assertive and let them know your feelings, and you can walk away if that's not panning out. You can walk away from it. You can walk away from them. You can kind of try to concentrate on the task at hand, the task that you're doing, and try to kind of block out what they're saying. But if all else fails, you know you need to find another job anyway. So if all else fails, just leave. You know, that kind of puts them in a spot. It makes them feel better because you left, but it kind of puts them in a spot because now they need a person to fill in for what you were doing. Like I say, it's all about them. It's not about you. So that's one thing it's important to remember. And sometimes some things you can do. I've got a lot of things going through my mind right now, so that's why I'm trying to get my thoughts all gathered again. I had them gathered just before I started this video, and they just, now that I'm talking, they just kind of out both ways, you know. But anyway, there's some things you can do to try to hang on to your job until you get your next one. And one of those things is make your boss feel involved. You know, if you have to write something for your company, you were told to write some type of letter or some type of presentation or something for your company, go to your boss and walk in there and ask your boss, you know, if he or she has any opinions on a particular paragraph that you're working on. If they have any ideas of anything that might make that particular paragraph better than what you already have it. There's a lot of times that's not going to be the case. They're not going to have anything better, but you can ask them, you know, if they have any good ideas for, you know, to go into that paragraph or, you know, a sentence or two to see if they have something that make it better. And if they come up with an idea and it doesn't sound too bad to you, go ahead and include that in there. Thank them. Thank them for being so helpful to you. Tell them all you're looking to do is just, you know, make this presentation or this letter an successful event, okay? And then afterwards, if it does turn out to be really successful and you did use some of their ideas in there, then you can come back to them and say, oh, thank you. Because of you, we got this thing through. It came out really well. It came across really, really well. Everybody loved it. And you had a lot to do with that. With your help, I was able to accomplish that. Okay? If you work in retail and you're shelving some stuff, ask them if it looks good. Ask them if it looks good, or if there's anything that they think could be changed around to make it look better. This is including them. They don't feel so threatened if they're included, because you can give them some credit, okay? And it makes them look good. It makes them feel more secure in their job, all right? And I know that's really hard to do depending on the type of bullying you're getting, the type of verbal abuse and stuff that you're getting from them. I know it can be really, really hard to do, but think about it and try to do it. You know, know to yourself that that you're just as good as they are, if not better. You know, just tell yourself that, and it's a little easier to deal with them then. And if that type of thing isn't working, then sometime get around one of your team members, one of your co-workers that doesn't seem to have that much trouble with the boss, and listen to what they say to your boss. Watch how they react to your boss, and try to pick up some tips there. because you want to keep your job until you get another job. But then again, you don't want to be tore down so far that you start looking down on yourself and start thinking low of yourself, losing your compassion for yourself and your confidence. Uh, and see, self-esteem has a lot to do with motivation. So if your self-esteem starts going down, your motivation starts going down. Once your motivation goes down, if you go out looking for another job somewhere, uh, you're going to walk in there and you're going to, prospective employers, they read body language, facial expressions, stuff like that. And if you're down on yourself already, if you let it go so far that you're down on yourself, starting to get down on yourself already, you go in for that interview, you're going to go in there, you're going to slowly walk into the interview, you're going to introduce yourself, shake hands or whatever, and sit down. And when you sit down, 9 chances out of 10, you're going to have this look on your face. It's going to be like a sad look, maybe even a depressed look. And they're going to pick up on that. They're going to read that. They're going to pick up on that real quick. And that's going to start putting doubts. That's going to start putting doubts in their mind of whether or not you would be a good fit for their company. So you want to think about that too. You've got to keep this self-confidence up, which keeps your the compassion up, and it keeps your confidence up, and keeps your esteem up, and keeps you motivated. So when you go in there, you just walk right in there and shake hand, introduce yourself, and shake hands with your prospective employer. You got this big old smile on your face. You can take on the world. You can take on anything and tackle anything and accomplish it and get it done. That's what you got to feel, okay? And that's going to show. That's going to show. That's going to make that prospective employer look at you and say, oh, wow, all right. This person's got it going on. This person, I think we can mold this person into one really great team member, okay? And so those are the kind of things that you want to be aware of. Excuse me. Let me think here. Let me get. Excuse me, man. I'm gonna get a drink. Sorry about that. Running a little dry there. What was I going to say? Okay, you can also find other outlets. Okay. Sometimes if there's somebody else in the company right there that you can go to, present ideas to them and things like that without stepping on the boss's toes, then you can do that. You can go to other managers, supervisors, leaders, whatever you want to call them nowadays. You can go to another one that's in that area, and you can present an idea to them, and they may go ahead and move forward with it, tell you, well, yeah, go ahead and do that. And they can say to the other boss, well, this person had this idea, I thought it was really good, so I told him to go ahead and give it a shot. Well, yeah, your boss is going to grumble and groan. Might come up to you, may even come up to you and say, oh, you went behind my back on this, that, or the other. Which you can say, no, I didn't. I was thinking about you in the process. Because now we got this done, everybody seems to like it. You get the credit. You get some of this credit because you're my boss. You see how that kind of works? I mean, I know every day going to work when you have a boss that's a real bully, Uh, it's like walking through a minefield, okay? Every step has to be gentle, has to be slow and easy. And that's no way to live. That's no way to have to work. I don't like to work for a company where I can't have a good time doing it, you know? And when you go to another staff member, boss or leader or whatever you want to call them, and you present an idea to them and it works out really well, you're building your own reputation with some of these other bosses that's within that company. Okay, you're building your own reputation with them. Uh, they see you have some good ideas that maybe will work. Uh, Maybe you can be moved to another area where this other boss said, gave you some praise. You did a really good job and all that. And that's kind of what you would call building your own reputation. Okay, uh, you're looking good. Your ideas are working. Uh, these other bosses like your ideas and stuff like that. So if you're not really hung up real solid in the area that you're in, and don't mind moving on to another area, then one of those leaders or bosses would probably ask you to come on their team. Okay, and then things might start looking up for you. You may not have to look for another job because you're getting some praise. They liked your idea. They told you, hey, this was a great idea. This really worked out well. Or this was a good idea and it really worked out well. So, you're building your own reputation within the company. Okay. Now the other boss may still be a little bit leery, become may still be threatened by you. Okay. But if you're in another area of the company, then they're not so much threatened by you. You're not going to have to put up with the bullying and stuff like that. You don't even have to tell them, hey, this guy was bullying me so bad that I was going to quit. You don't even have to tell them that. You just go into the other area of the company. Uh, you're basically starting a new job and you're being praised. Every little praise you get is going to help with that confidence and that self-esteem. It's going to help you keep building that self-esteem, okay, and keep motivated, all right? Uh, that also brings up another fact. When you do something like that, that's starting to make you indispensable to that company. So if you're becoming indispensable to that company, then 9 chances out of 10, you're becoming indispensable to your boss. Okay, he or she may still be wanting to put you down and yell and scream at you and stuff like that, but they know if he or she loses you, that their job could be in danger because they let somebody as good as you go. So these are some of the points I wanted to touch on today. And as I said, I'm sorry I got this video up so late, but it took a lot of thinking about and took a lot to decide which way I wanted to go with this one, because there are so many ways to go. Like I say, you can do videos on self-esteem. You can do them forever. There's just so much, and of course, everybody has their own views. Okay. If you ever want to know if you're losing your self-esteem, just think of a few things, such as look at yourself. Take an assessment of yourself, okay? Such as do you have feelings of shame, depression, anxiety, or anything like that? A lot of times people believe that others are better than they are. Okay, even though that's generally not true. You just have a negative outlook on everything, on yourself and everything else. Just a lack of confidence. You you think you're going to fail and you have a fear of everything you're going to do that you're going to fail, things like that. Trouble accepting positive feedback. You know, if somebody comes up to you and say, hey man, you did a really, really good job on whatever, uh, you know, you say, nah, I didn't, it's just a thing. Okay, so those are some of the signs. There's a lot more signs, and you can look up some of the signs on the internet, but there's a lot more signs that you're losing your self-esteem. And here I go again. This video is a mile long. Sorry about that. Uh, so anyway, I'm going to get off of here and wish you all a great day. If you enjoyed this video, leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up. I'll come back to you with some more videos. I'm thinking about going another route here in a few days to start on something else. It's still going to be psychological stuff, but anyway, like I say, this video is getting real long, so I'm going to try to put another video up maybe next Friday. I'm going to try to get videos up every Friday if I can. So keep looking for them, all right? All right. Thank you for spending some time with me tonight, and you have a great evening. Enjoy yourself. Bye.